thank you everyone for watching. You're watching the Capitol Beat, filmed live from the Capitol. With me to my left, I have Mike Tagliavia from
Corinth, Orange 1, Corinth, Orange, Washington, and Vershire.
And you're on the committee.
Committee on Environment.
All right. And to my right, I have Gina Galfetti, who is from Barrytown, everyone knows, and is on the
Corrections and Institutions Committee. I also serve a small little chunk of Williamstown, and had to go swing a paintbrush this afternoon real quick and make some real money because this job doesn't pay the bills.
No, it does not. So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great, Mike. It's been an interesting week.
Yeah, you've had some fun.
That's the way to say it. The words of the illustrious Vincent Maluzzi, former senator, long-serving senator, sometimes you got to throw a grenade, Mike.
I don't like throwing grenades, you know me.
That's right. Don't worry, I'll let you pull the pin next time.
I won't be pulling any pins. So, since you started it off talking about it, so tell folks what you did this week.
Well, on the House floor on Thursday, the decision was made to call H70, which is the use valued appraisal bill, out of the Mike's committee, environment, yes, and get it to try to get it to the House floor. And the reason we were doing that is because, unfortunately, Mike's distinguished committee chair, the representative for Middlebury, Amy Sheldon, has created a personal fiefdom, I think is probably accurate, in that committee. And there's a lot of legislation that's important to what we're doing here in Montpelier, what Vermonters sent us here to do regarding energy and housing,
land use
that have bottlenecked in that committee. And we passed Act 59 last year, and it called for an inventory of last biennium. You're right.
We got to make sure, because
look at that freshman coming out.
That was it. I think that was one that the governor was against. He vetoed, but he was overridden.
In the supermajority days, exactly.
And it was one of those things that was kind of a time bomb, and now we're seeing the effects.
It was another great example of the supermajority doing things like passing legislation with deadlines and arbitrary goals without any concept of whether or not those goals could be met, and then codifying it in statute. And the problem with Act 59 is it largely excludes land that's in current use, farmland, woodland, that's been conserved for generations by Vermonters and managed by Vermonters. And by not putting that land into the accounting, we're never going to make the 30% conserved lands by 2030 or the lofty 50% conserved lands by 2050. And it's a real slap in the face for the land stewards in Vermont that are here to help protect our forests and protect our working lands, to not be included in that conversation. So what we did was to try to take H70, which would actually include that land in the Act 59 accounting, off the wall, so that we could get that up for consideration, because it's literally sat stapled to Chair Sheldon's wall since last January. And no testimony has been taken on it, and it's been a real problem. And there's no good reason that one powerful chair should be holding up housing, energy, and land use all by herself. And unfortunately, it would appear that Chair Sheldon's main consideration this session has been taking bills off the wall that she's the sole sponsor of, as well as bills that are focused on things like reintroducing the catamount into the state of Vermont. And as lovely as that might sound, I don't think that's the important work that Vermonters sent us to Montpelier to do in this current affordability crisis.
Who among us doesn't want to come into contact with a catamount while we're hiking?
Shove in? Not me.
So, yeah, I get it. The bill had stayed on the wall since, it came on the wall. And for folks that don't know what that means, so when a legislator introduces a bill, it goes up on a cork board on the wall.
It gets assigned to a committee.
Yes, it gets assigned to the committee by the speaker, and then it goes on the wall for consideration in the committee. That particular bill was there back in
January of last year.
2025.
Yes,
absolutely.
Correct.
And it's up to the chair to decide what legislation moves off the wall, and it's a problem. It's too bad we don't have Vince back here, but it's generally not accepted practice in the legislature to be the sole sponsor of the bill and the chair of the committee, and have those be the bills that you're taking up for consideration, while largely ignoring most of the other legislation that's in that committee.
Yeah, and it's not just the Cougar reintroduction bill that's problematic.
No.
We have a wildlands bill that's getting a lot of testimony. Has gotten a lot of testimony last year, and although it may in the future be something to think about with the economy of Vermont the way we have it, and so many land use issues out there that need to be resolved. It's just not an appropriate time. A lot of people believe that.
Yeah.
So we have some new bills that have come up, H 730, that addresses some of the Act 181 timelines, and I believe it addresses the road rule, which is going to 800-foot road rule, which will trigger Act 250 permitting, which is going to be a real hit to rural Vermont. And there's Act 749, I believe it is, which is Greg Burt's bill, also addresses the road rule and addresses Tier 3 mapping, because many areas of Vermont have a lot of Tier 3 properties, land in them, which would also be suitable for some building, some construction.
And just to fill that in a little bit, when Mike talks about Tier 3, when we passed it turned into Act 181 during the supermajority, it called for an inventorying of land and classifying it as Zone 1, Zone 2, or Zone 3. And Zone 1 being high population density development was approved. Zone 2, if there was municipal water and sewer development, would be expanded. And Zone 3 is
actually Tier 2 is not. It's Tier 1A and 1B is what you were talking about. And then there's Tier 2, which will most likely it would stick with the Act 250 zoning. But Tier 3 is stuff that's up in the air, and it has to do with what are the terms? But it's stuff of highest preservation priority, and that's not the wording that's in the bill, but it's going to be problematic for some very rural towns that right now are mapped that have a very high percentage of that
type
Tier
of
3
land.
landing.
So where does the development go at that point?
Where does the development go, and what is their economy going to look like because of it?
Right.
So these are things that we hope. There is a letter that came out of the Rural Caucus that I don't believe all of the Rural Caucus members signed, with respect to Tier 3 mapping and H 730. That is, I'm pretty sure it's due to go to the speaker and my Chair Sheldon, requesting that those come off the wall, and I hope it works.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it shouldn't need to take that.
No.
I mean, if we're concerned about affordability, if we're concerned about housing, it should be a natural reaction. Okay, we made mistakes. That's the biggest problem we have here, I think, in this building.
Right.
It's coming to the realization that Yep, we're only human. We made mistakes. There are unintended consequences. Let's fix them.
Well, you said it right there. I think, especially during the years of the supermajority, there was a certain foolhardiness that threw out the consideration of unintended consequences because dissenting voices were largely ignored in favor of steamrolling ideological legislation, which wasn't always bad in its aspirations, but in its execution fell short. And when you're crafting legislation without dissenting voices and taking those into consideration and looking at all the sides of the issue, you end up with legislation that ends up needing
It's
a tune-up.
harmful. It's harmful.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's like I've
that's
talked
how we
about
got clean
mud.
heat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's well.
Clean standard is not good.
Nobody likes clean heat.
Although I
Ding
think
dong,
that's
the witch
dead.
is dead. Yes.
It's really not, because somebody sent me a video of apparently Representative Sevilla
She has
talking
to have
about
a new
clean
bill
heat,
though.
and talking about it
Yeah,
again, bringing it up.
but it needs a vehicle in the form of I believe it's 408 or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah, it would need to get voted on again. But yeah, it's those kinds of sly moves to reintroduce policy that has been explored and that we've spent money studying, and that's the biggest problem. When we're spending money studying things like clean heat, and the climate super fund lawsuits that we're going to be undertaking, we're spending a lot of money to engage in a legislative process that may end up shortchanging Vermonters. And so we're putting money out in front, and then we're standing to lose money down the road, and that's not good governance, and it's just not what Vermonters can afford, is what it comes down to.
Yeah,
It's not that
you're right.
they're not lofty ideas that people would like to
No.
aspire to, but
No.
we can't afford it. We're just a small rural state.
So
Yeah.
let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Now that we've established that, there's obviously some work that needs to be done on getting things off the wall, and the struggles of trying to meet the needs of the state of Vermont, for affordability. So, Mike, you guys have been working on some stuff in your committee.
Yes.
I can just randomly ask, or do you want to?
This week we covered a number of things. As H778, which is dealing with emergency operations plans and emergency action plans with respect to dam safety.
Dam safety.
Dam safety.
Dam safety.
Dam safety.
DAM. DAM.
Yes.
Not N at
There
the
are
end.
there are some dams that are high risk, that if they were to fail could affect anywhere from 100 up to 1,000 people. That there's a concern about what type of emergency action plans or operations plans there are, and planning around
Just
evacuations.
to let everybody know, just because the dam is classified as high risk does not mean that the dam is in danger of failing. It means that if the dam were to fail, there's a lot of people that would be impacted.
Yes.
The dams are are in pretty good shape. That's something that does come
Yeah,
through
there
my
are a number of
community.
dams that
But we need
Yes.
to explore what's going on with those dams. We're surveying a lot of them right now, putting
Right.
a lot of work into the Waterbury Reservoir in the coming years. So,
yes.
but it's as we saw from the 23 and 24 flooding,
Yes.
we're vulnerable.
So you're not saying that our dam up in Barry Town
It's a high risk dam.
It's a high risk, but it's not dangerous.
It's not in a high risk of failing. It's a high risk dam if it were to fail, because the risk of loss of life is higher than a small dam that's not controlling water for such a big area.
Which makes sense. I mean, we saw it in the 2023 flood without the dam failing. I mean, imagine what that would be like if it did fail.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking catastrophic events on the line of 1929 or 27.
I think it was the 27 flood when we lost the lieutenant governor on Nelson Street in Barrie.
Oh, wow.
Michael, your history.
I know. That's no shame.
So that was,
it was
yeah.
the 27 flood.
But
Jerry
The
Zero.
house is closing in 15 minutes. Please gather your belongings and exit the building. Thank
Well,
you. The house is closing in 15
Terry Ziller
minutes.
says,
Please gather
why
your
were
belongings
people
and
allowed
exit
to
the building.
build in
Thank you.
floodplain, period? You know, people were allowed to build back in the days because it was,
well,
you know,
one of
you
the
built.
reasons, yeah, there was a lot
It
of
was before
construction.
regulations.
But
Yeah,
a lot of construction happened because there were mills that were operating
near
Yeah.
the river.
and-
The,
yeah,
the,
That's
the
true.
rivers were the arteries for transportation and for energy.
Yes.
150, 200
and
years ago.
yeah. So
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 what's
it
going to
just made
happen with that
sense.
bill? Are they gonna-
that one, we've taken a lot of testimony on it. It looks like it's going to continue to move forward. I'm guessing since we've got 17 or 18 weeks. If I had
Well,
to
we've
guess,
got
it's
March-
going to go
Yeah,
March 13th.
crossover
is
is
March
when it
really
starts.
13th
quick.
is crossover,
Yeah,
and
so
crossover's coming up
it's-
quickly.
It quite possibly could make it to crossover. So we have to see. There's still a lot of I think there's going to be quite a bit more testimony on it. So
So let me explain to folks what crossover is because they may not know. Crossover is the drop dead date for a bill to be approved in the House for it to go over to the Senate. Now the Senate has a little bit later.
Yeah, their crossover date's a little later. I believe it's the 20th of March.
Yeah, and that just means if it doesn't get over there, it means it's not going to be dealt with.
and now money bills.
Money bills, their
Get an extra
crossover is
week.
they get an extra week. I
Right.
think it's like I
The
believe
20th,
it's the
I think.
13th for regular bills in the House, and then the 20th
Yes,
for money bills.
I think you're correct.
So how does that work? I mean, we're freshmen, so how does that work come March 15th? Does that mean
If you haven't voted that bill out of committee and it hasn't passed for a vote on the House floor, then that's the end of
It's
it.
going to die
so we
unless
won't be taking up any bills then?
You're not taking up any new bills after crossover, but you'll have everything that the Senate sent to us to work on so that we can get it out to the House floor and vote on all the Senate bills that were sent over.
We only have
though.
2 bills from the Senate in our committee.
Right now, yeah, but they have till March 20th
True,
to send
true.
their bills to us. That's why you have the crossover date. We have to get them our stuff, and they have to get us their stuff, and then we spend the rest of the session working on the bills that we receive from the House or the House received from the Senate.
Well, hopefully we get to end the session early.
Question for you though: if there's a bill that did not make it, but the content of the bill is germane to one that did make it,
You
Christmas
that
tree.
could be attached.
You can attach it if
Oy.
you can find a germane vehicle for
Okay, so
your
there are
bill, or for portions of your bill, or
Right.
for passages
So
of your bill, or
there are
single sentences
procedural
of your
things,
bill.
yes.
You can tack that on to
Right.
another bill and get the message out on the House floor, the Senate's floor, that these are things that we wanted to accomplish and get it to a vote and
Christmas
see what
tree.
Yeah.
see what people do.
Yeah. So there was a bill actually in
A lot
our
of
committee
bills,
that
like
didn't make it out of committee, and it wound up getting attached to a Senate bill.
yeah.
So,
And then you also have the committee bills. Committee bills can come out later as well. I can't remember what the deadline is for committee bills, but that's later.
I can't remember.
So what else have you been talking about?
Oh, let's see. We have the bottle bill. There's a bottle bill still that we're talking about.
So
That
that bill
this
is
one,
whether or not to increase the amount, correct?
No, it does. The way it's worked now, there will not be an increase in the deposits. I think, what is it, 5 cents for like the soda bottles and the water bottles, and for like wine bottles it would be 15 cents. What this does is start an EPR program, end producer return program, which responsibility program, where
If you sell
there
it,
were-
you got to take it back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it puts it on manufacturers or producers to set up a program for redemption. it's the redemption.
Well, it's not producers, it's the sellers, it's the stores, right? Like, so I can take my cans down to Cumberland Farms.
Right, but that's
even
how it
though-
sits now.
Right,
Oh,
that's how
yeah,
it sits
okay.
now. They're trying to do another
Trying to get rid
program.
of
That would put the
program.
onus on the actual producer of the beverage.
Yeah, and because the goal is the redemption, trying to get the redemption rates up
Right.
to try to keep the stuff.
Yeah, because this is a big cost drain. You know, if you talk to Casey Harrington down at Beverage Baron, trying to find somebody to stock the redemption center and manage taking the bottles and cans back is not easy. And as we all know, the redemption centers, there's less and less of them all the time.
Yeah.
And it's putting a lot of strain on the retailers to have to manage taking all these bottles back.
So,
Well, hopefully you get rid of that because, quite frankly, I don't know if we need that program in the state of Vermont. We have mandatory recycling,
yes.
and I don't think bottle redemption.
Well,
or-
that's
I don't think
come
they
up.
really. I
It's come up.
doubt
We'll have to
that they
see.
want it.
We'll have to see. And then, the bottle bill is one of those things. It's like a perennial thing that, from what I've been told, you and I are both freshmen, but it seems like every time we talk about it, somebody who's been here for a while, their reply is again.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. And then, like we've been talking about, even if it does go to the Senate, if there's no taste for it in the Senate, then it'll die in the Senate. What else have we got? We've got a miscellaneous H632, which is deals with a number of things, and I can't remember all of them.
That's
It deals with
miscellaneous wetlands.
it's
It's
miscellaneous
not wetlands,
environmental
it's,
stuff. It has,
it's
yeah,
miscellaneous
it's got
environmental
a
amendments.
number,
It's got all
a
kinds of
number
stuff.
of things.
That's a prime bill for the Christmas
Tree.
Yeah.
Yes, it
And
is.
maybe
It
we
is.
can take up Jerry's comment, which is, pass some bills that rebate taxpayers, but
That would
we
we have some.
we
We
could
have some in my committee. We've
Yep.
got at least one of yours.
Yep.
The tax freeze bill.
Yep.
I don't know if it's
what
going
committee is
anywhere.
that in?
The
probably-
property tax freeze right now is in
Ways and Means?
Ways and Means.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it ain't going anywhere.
Where I
Not-
expect that it's been gorilla glued to the wall at this point.
Gorilla.
Yeah.
I would probably say cemented, plastered over. That ain't
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. It may have been like your grandmother's attic with 17 layers of wallpaper. It's,
Right.
It's deep. It's
It's
very
deep in there.
deep.
100%.
But we're gonna make some noise about it, and we need people to reach out to their legislators and make some noise to take bills like that up because school spending is just it has to be contained.
I mean, it's tough, right? The school spending is tough. As a board, I'm a board chair.
Yep.
And I take a lot of ire for our budget. But, there's a lot of stuff that goes into school spending that isn't necessarily the school's choice or the district's choice.
Right.
It's a lot of stuff that's been passed up here. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of not unfunded mandates, and we should look into those, and consider, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Or,
Well, we also
take Phil Scott's, idea and do what he's suggesting, which is merging our districts
Mhm.
so that we can get rid of some. And I'm not saying I want to get rid of administration, but we could streamline some of it, right?
If
if
you look hard enough, you're going to be able to
You're going to
find
be
ways
able
to save.
you're going to
Yes.
be able to save.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
there was
there's-
a lot of. I mean, the problem with the pandemic and then the supermajority coming to power, while we still had all of this federal money that was just raining down like manna from heaven, is that people lost sight of what the fiscal realities are in Vermont, and unfortunately, certain schools got one-time money to expand programs that they don't want to cut back now, unfortunately. And it's tough choices like that are hard for school boards to make because, programs are great, but when you do things with one-time money, and that's the thing that the supermajority really lost sight of, it's one-time money. So you stand an ongoing program up with one-time money. Eventually, somebody's going to have to kick down and pay for that, and that's where we're at now. The Fed money's gone, and with so many small school boards, it's difficult. Everybody loves their school and wants to support their school, and that's why I truly believe that the district consolidation, strictly from a management perspective, will help that a lot. And people, I think, are starting to understand that this perception of local control through the local school board ultimately has very little impact on the tax rate, because schools pass their budgets. If a school's budget increases by 20%, it gets lumped into a big pot of money and then paid out, and then the tax rate's evened out across the state. So your local school budget may have a very small increase, and you see your taxes going up 12%. So you brought your school budget down, but it's really not going to have any effect on your tax rate. So I think people are going to have to get comfortable with the idea that these larger districts with more top-down governance are going to be the path forward to achieving, fiscal sense in the system, and that's a hard sell.
Did you guys see Peter Conlon's
The map. The map.
Did you see that?
I've seen the map.
Did you see the map?
I have not
You
seen
have not
it.
seen the
I
map?
have
had
not
it
looked at the map in
described to me,
detail yet. It
but
came out yesterday, and
like-
I think that's going to make for some weighty discussions over the weekend. that's
I
for sure.
would agree with that.
Well, I've already gotten an email because
You see
my
here.
district has school choice. We have tuitioning,
Yeah.
and I have a school choice bill. So it looks like school choice is going to be whacked in my district, which means I'm going to be a no on it. If it
Well,
doesn't, we don't retain
so-
some sort of school choice.
Yeah.
So I've got
gonna be
it
hell to
right
pay.
here.
Are you putting that up?
I am putting it up
All
so
right.
people can see it. So
Okay.
for folks that don't know,
I can't see it from here.
oh, you can't see. Well, no,
No.
you can't because I get a privacy screen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's
And I
fine.
learned about the privacy screens from Representative Priestley.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now I have
You
privacy.
need data privacy and screen
So,
privacy.
For folks, this is just our district, which is
Right,
going to be
okay.
Cabot.
What does that look like to you, Mike?
Yeah, I've heard that comment before. I actually like this map. I like this map.
Once I'm gonna have to look at the map in detail.
I
first.
I look at this map and I actually really like it. So we would be lumped in, the Barry Unified Union School District would be lumped in with Roxbury, Northfield, Williamstown, Washington, Orange, of course, Barry and Barry City, Barrytown and Barry City, Plainfield, Marshfield, and Cabot. And we would all be lumped into one district. I can tell you what that means. That means Spalding High School survives.
Mhm.
Probably Williamstown won't, right? Because Williamstown has like 30
Oh.
kids.
Right.
Um,
That means U32 survives too, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, 'cause
they
that's
would
in
survive
Marshfield.
because
So
they're
that's
over.
That's a tenable goal
Well-
if we could start sending a lot of the more traditional students to U32 and use Spalding as a hub for an expansion of the tech center.
Yeah. No, I just listened to what you just said and I didn't like that.
You don't like it,
I
Mike,
don't
but
like
I
what
like
you just
it.
said. I don't like
it.
what
we
you
got
just
a
said.
lot of room at Spalding
don't
High
need to-
School.
We do have a lot of room at
We don't
Spalding
need
High
a
School. There's
$200
other
million
options.
tech center.
I'm not suggesting that we do have another tech center. I actually think we should like close all the high schools in the area and do a tech and high school.
¿Dónde
So-
está dinero, Michael?
I know you don't like
Where's
that.
the money?
So yours,
Why not use the
you're
buildings
Corinth,
we've got?
right? So this
Corinth,
is
Orange, Washington, and Versier.
so my guess. Well, this is interesting. So you're white there. So I don't know. That's a whole different. My guess is those are tuition, right?
I don't know. I was told by somebody who's not happy with the district that
Right now, Corinth would wind up going to Oxbow. They would lose their option to go to like
Let's-
Thetford.
So
So
clearly
don't
we all have
know.
some more digging to do
Yeah.
into these
Well,
maps.
yeah.
They just
No,
came out yesterday, and it's
You know what?
it's
And
a
I'm gonna
first phase.
I'm
point
gonna
one.
drop the map maker into the comments. I know for our district that was suggested. I dig it. I'm not gonna lie. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Oh no! Now I don't know how to get rid of the screen share. There we go. So I'm gonna drop into the comments the link if you guys want to go to that link. Oh my word, that's huge. So that's a huge one. You can also go to 802 Scoop. It's on there as well.
Oh,
You brought it up. Yeah, Mike's now looking at it. I mean, I think it's a great district. Me personally, I like the fact that we're lumped in with Williamstown.
Yeah,
Makes perfect sense because you have a chunk of Williamstown.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah. I don't know if, especially like Barrytown is compatible with Montpelier.
Yeah,
So that's something to definitely think about.
yeah.
Just
I'm
a thought on
definitely-
that.
I on first blush, I think that's a pretty reasonable accounting
Yeah.
for the district.
Well, they still have school choice. I don't know, Sherilyn, if they'll still have school choice. My guess is they're going to have to because I think there would be a lot of people that would lose their mind.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion on that. And Jerry says, I'm curious what happens with all the housing growth. What's going to happen when you start closing these schools and then need to them back? I mean, that's a valid
very good
question
question.
if that's the case. I mean, one of the problems that we have in the U.S. is
It's
a
declining birth
huge
rate.
declining in
Yeah.
birth rate. And that's the reason, that's one of the reasons why we have a declining birth rate up here is it's a national trend.
Yeah, and that problem started 18 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's not something that's going to
Our
change.
generation
It's-
is starting. Our generation
we started
failed.
it. We did.
The two
We
of
failed.
us graduated in 1998. You have any children? I don't
No.
have any children. Mike, you have children, don't you? You don't have any children.
My wife and I don't
We
have
are-
any kids.
Yeah.
See, we're
My brothers
just
don't have any children. My sister doesn't have a child. I mean, we were the dormant producers.
yeah, and the next generation's even worse.
Yeah. So
I will say in commerce and economic development regarding schools, technically not schools. We're regulating the equipment, which is not education, but it's tech ed. So the bill is going to require certain regulations regarding the usage of tech ed. So people,
are we
our
talking
kids,
screens? Let's get rid of them all.
time,
Get rid of the
screen
screens.
time.
Get
And
rid of the
that's-
screens. The only modern society right now who's this newest generation for generation after generation since they started measuring these metrics, each generation was getting discernibly smarter, and the generation that we are currently in is not showing such promise. And the only nation that was able to dodge that bullet were the Danes. And the Danish took all their screens out of their schools and went back to textbooks and paper. And the new generation in Denmark is getting smarter, but
Because
not
they went
so
back
much.
to more
They
traditional
got
stuff.
rid of all the screens and they went back to paper
And there are
textbooks.
other
and-
people
and-
who've been
and
saying
print.
that. That's what's going to save
Yeah,
it.
and it's disturbing. The screen makes me lazy. I know that.
Yeah.
See those gray areas?
I don't know if you
do you know
can.
if you can get on there? I'll bet those are interstate school districts.
They are. I couldn't find it. It didn't specifically state for me when I tried to look into it.
Oh, okay. How much you want to bet? If you look up in the north. Oh, it doesn't show anything in the north because I know there's at least
Gentlemen,
one.
I think that the good
in the
people that
whatchamacallit.
are watching Capitol Beat
That is
deserve
true.
to have us do this research
I'm really
before
sorry.
before we
That is a
do
valid.
a
That is a
program
valid.
with them.
That's a very valid point.
I mean, the Mets are
I'm
saying,
trying to figure
here
out.
we go with the screens,
That's good, that's
ladies and
good.
gentlemen. You give them a screen, light it up, and the kids tear themselves away.
It's true. This is true. So anyway, we're going to be regulating, putting into. We're reviewing the law right now, the bill.
Yeah.
We're going through it, taking testimony.
All kinds of
There was
debate.
actually some really good testimony today about how when Vermont introduced tech through legislation back in 2014, something like that. It was Act 77. Don't quote me on that. But he said, we were inclining our education, and then that
Fell
was
off a
it.
cliff.
It went down, and it's been spiraling ever since. And
Yeah.
he said that, he's looked at all 50 states, and every single state where they started introducing tech into the classroom,
It erodes
that's when
intelligence.
it erodes the intelligence. Yeah. Jerry says, I would recommend every parent spend a day in their child's classroom once unannounced. You would see where the problem lies. And that's,
Probably
you
true.
can't, unfortunately, in the state of Vermont, you can't just walk into the school. You have to get permission, and you have to go through the process. It's not like back in the old days where you
Mom
could do that.
could walk in and drag you out by the ear.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore. So anyway, that regulation is, I think it's going to be extremely beneficial for our kids, because, like you said, over in Denmark,
They took out all the tech, and the kids are getting smarter, just like they're supposed to, generation after generation.
that's exactly what was said today. Is that every single generation has gotten smarter except for this
the
little.
current one.
And yeah, it'll be interesting. And one of the
We
things
gotta bring them back from the precipice, everybody.
well, one of the things that I was questioning was, how do you address the teachers that are like super supportive of the tech in the classroom? And
Yeah.
that's going to be a huge problem. And wouldn't you know, like 10 minutes later, there was an educator from the school system that was like, we're not really supportive of this bill. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's all the experts except for, that didn't come out right. There's some reason, I don't know why the people in the education field are super supportive of the tech when all the studies show this is not good for our kids.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and nobody's going to like me for this. I'm guessing it probably makes their life easier.
I can't imagine that, right? Because
if you can just Google yourself up a lesson plan, or if you got to come up with a book and cite chapter and verse.
I don't know if that's it. Only because, like, I don't know what the answer is. Yeah. Jerry says, I got it. I was there for an outing for the kids. It was delayed. The school office let me spend about 2 hours in 2 different classrooms. Oh, well, I guess there you go. I thought you had to get...
I think you just have to get approval to go in. I don't know.
Okay.
You would know the school board chair.
I think it's a little more difficult at BUSD, but Jerry probably is part of the BUSD. I don't know. Now I feel kind of bad. I thought it was difficult to get in.
Well, I mean, we should just, they live stream us here in the Capitol, man. Maybe we should just be able to live stream all the classrooms.
Tempt me with a good time. I don't have a problem live streaming. I guess the only issue with that is I do have a problem with live streaming it. Recording them, not so much.
Right.
But then again, then you're talking about
you've got
it's a lot of work.
The privacy of minors.
Yeah. We're also talking about in our committee coerced debt.
Mm-hmm.
So individuals that are dealing with abuse, oftentimes they also experience financial abuse where the partner will take out debts.
Right.
And we're looking into possibly making it so that they're not responsible. The abused,
Yep.
the victims are not responsible for those debts that are technically taken out by.
A spouse or a partner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw some testimony on that the other day, and I think that's definitely useful because when you're in those kinds of pitched relationships and they've got your social security number and your birth certificate in the sock drawer, problems can ensue.
So Jerry says that event with him going into school was about 7 years ago. My guess is if you try now, it's a little bit more difficult. That would be my guess. Yeah. So we talked about that in our committee. Anything in your committee that you want to share with us?
The good work of corrections and institutions. We haven't had anything too exciting coming out of there. We do have a really interesting bill regarding the inventory of state-owned property to figure out what buildings and property the state actually owns already, where we can be developing housing and utilizing some of the buildings that we have for affordable housing. And that's kind of been exciting. We're also looking at some prison commissary for prison commissary, and then telecommunications for incarcerated individuals. Nothing wild in my committee as usual. I'm bricks and mortar in prisons over here.
So the one regarding the inventory was voted today
Yes,
in the House.
that came
on
out.
the floor.
Yep.
So how is that? Because I feel like that's, quite frankly, I feel like it's almost like a Trojan horse to undermine the Scott administration about work coming back to work. No,
No,
that's
it's
not the
Scott's
case.
bill.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
He
Well, no,
called for this.
Okay.
He called for this. No,
So I don't-
no. It has nothing to do with the return to work order, and that was
Wasn't
was
there a bill? There was a bill that's similar to that. That's the older bill that was put in by Connor Casey, right? Last year.
no. Those are pretty much all the same bill.
No, the one that
Connor Casey put in was the same deal. He just wanted to inventory state property.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
No.
thought you left hours ago or an hour ago.
We're live streaming.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Do you want to come? Do you want to come
I
over?
don't know. When you live stream.
We're
doing the
live
capital
streaming
B.
to 802 Scoop. So we're talking to Edie Granning, who is sits in the committee with me. She's the vice chair of the Commerce and Economic Development. You probably can't hear her because she's over there. But let me.
No, you don't need to.
Oh, no, that's okay
Edie's out
now.
there. She's like, it's Friday afternoon.
Oh no, that's fine. Here we go. Come on over and say hello to the 802 Scoop world.
Hi. How much am I going to regret this?
A lot.
No.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about coerced debt, and well, no, I say that because you're the one that
Sponsored the bill.
And you want to give folks just a little
What
Quick
coerced
Quick
debt
overview.
is?
a little overview on it?
Yeah,
I'm putting you on
sure.
the spot.
You're
I'm
putting me on
really
the
Well,
spot.
I mean, we kind of did the
We
quick
did. We
overview,
did.
but-
We did a
If
quick.
a
Yeah.
person who is in an abusive relationship who gets into debt to no fault of their own, somebody
Yeah.
threatening them, coercing them into taking on that debt, this would give them recourse so that they can get to a place where their life can start over and they can get a good credit score again, and all of the things that stay with you when you have more debt than you can afford, and you didn't do anything wrong except for you were in some kind of a relationship that was abusive or threatening to you.
And we actually took testimony from an individual that, she
That is
Like-
is working really hard to get out of an abusive relationship.
was that 20 years? Did she say
No.
no? She said how many years ago? She said
She's been out of it for 4 years,
4 years. Okay,
but there's still lingering impacts because
Yeah.
they have kids together.
it was 20,000. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
She
And
had
so
mentioned
it's
20,000 in
yeah.
that, and that's
super
really
complex.
unfortunate. Yeah, but Yeah.
We're
So-
working with the banks and the credit unions. We're working with the Department of Financial Regulation to come up with a way that the perpetrator is the one responsible and not the banks and not the debtor.
A
And
way to
it's-
separate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard.
That's a great bill.
It is
Yeah.
a good bill.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you
We do good
co-sponsored
work.
is we do occasionally. The other bill that you co-sponsored was the ed tech bill
Yes.
that we were talking about, which is so important. And Gina was talking about how Denmark had gotten rid of their tech in their
School.
school
Completely.
system.
And their
in
generation is trending
Yeah.
upward.
Yeah.
They've got the only developed nation that is
Yeah.
trending upward on scores. They went back to paper textbooks and pencils.
And it was
Yeah.
some
This-
scary testimony today
Yeah.
about how
Big
these
of a cliff it is.
I think it's the book, The Digital Delusion, that
Mm.
the guy who wrote that testified for us today. And if you have time and energy and interest, it's a good book to read.
and what I can do is I will clip it and I'll probably post it on my campaign page.
Yeah.
Because or maybe I'll post it on 802 Scoop because I think it's really important to hear that testimony.
Thanks for
Thank
inviting
you.
me.
Yes, anytime. You're more than welcome to join us
Weekend.
on
Have a
Fridays.
weekend.
So that was Edie Granning. She represents Jericho and Underhill. Yeah. So it's been those. I'm really excited about those bills.
Yeah.
Not so excited about the data privacy bills.
Well, that's a whole other show.
Yeah, the data privacy bills are going to be pretty tough. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Senate sent one over to us that was unanimously supported, and it's sitting on the wall. And I'm a little concerned with the one that's currently being addressed. There's no exceptions for financial institutions for these data privacy or for the data privacies. California has exceptions, but we're not gonna. Unless it goes in.
Right.
And that's the reason why it's in committee so that we can work on that stuff.
Sure. You let me know if it's grenade time.
Gina's gonna make a motion to pull S71 off the board to approve it and
Right.
send it to Phil Scott.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of other
That's
things
very
we could
tempting,
do.
but no. I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up pulling that off the wall and approving that. That
Yeah.
would be my guess. I still haven't quite gotten a hold of the politics of
How
of
things
this.
come off the wall.
Yeah, because it's almost like they come off the wall to they come off the wall at times so that other things come off the wall on the Senate side,
Uh-huh.
which
Well,
for me I believe you just pass it the best way to pass it, and then
Yeah, it's a numbers game. Depends on who's on the committee on the Senate side, who's on the committee on the House side, who's chairing the committee, and ultimately, all roads lead to the Speaker's office.
true. But anything else?
I think that wraps it up for me.
You got anything you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
You
I
don't think so?
I did introduce my bill. I don't know if it's going to be that one's going to be a long haul.
That's a show in its own.
Yeah, it is. H767. It's going to wind up having to go through two of the toughest committees, environment and energy and digital. I introduced it in energy. Yeah, but I think given the damage that those acts and resolves in the bill that I introduced regarding the moratorium, the damage to the economy and the affordability issue it's there.
Yeah.
It's easy to see. So
Well,
gonna-
hopefully something gets done.
It's going to
See
sound
what
something like
happens. It's
this.
What?
Yeah, you're probably
Gina's going to
right.
make the Wild Wild West. I'm not there. I don't think we should be doing Wild Wild West.
Oh, we definitely should be
that's
sometimes,
no,
Mike.
the
good, the bad, and the
Absolutely.
ugly.
That's our job.
I mean, when,
That's what Vince just said.
well,
And he was here
I
for
get-
30 years,
So
Mike.
I'm like,
We're the
like-
minority party. It's our job
I
to
know.
make some noise.
My thought is like you give everyone a heads up, and that's how I roll. I just roll
Yeah.
differently.
No, everybody was given a heads up.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know about it.
We'll talk about that in detail at Offsite Caucus on Tuesday, Mike.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, I want to say thank you for watching the Capitol Beat stream live right here in the State House. And hopefully we'll see you next week. But you'll see me this Sunday with Liam for Barry Beat, where we focus mainly on local stuff and then news. But with that, have a great day.